This is our Chapter 2 review of Physics 1. We're going to be doing question number 9 right here. So question number 9 says, on your way to school, you drive your car 50 miles an hour for the first 10 miles and then 20 miles per hour for the next 10 miles. The question is, what is the average speed for the trip to school? Well, let's write down, we actually have two scenarios here. We have two rates of speed at two different distances. So I'm going to write our V1, our velocity one. That's not VI, that's just V1. Our constant velocity one is 50 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. It's an H right there. And our distance one, or our displacement one, delta x1, is 10 miles. Our velocity 2 is going to be 20 miles per hour. 20 miles per hour. And our displacement 2 is going to be also 10 miles. So if you recall from back in the earlier parts of this chapter, we talked about how the average velocity of a trip here is the total displacement over the total time. That is all the displacement added together, or the sum of the displacements for all the different segments of the trip over the sum of all the time spent driving. Well, we have the displacement down because we have, for part 1, our displacement is 10 miles. I'm going to add that to part 2, which is also 10 miles. But we don't know the time spent in each segment. But we can calculate that. We don't know time 1. We don't know time 2. But since time and velocity and displacement are all related, for 1 right here, since velocity is delta x over time, we can say that time is our displacement divided by our velocity. So time 1 is going to be 10 miles divided by 50 miles per hour. And that will be 0.2 hours. And I've got a Boston Terrier here throwing a bone around in my kitchen here. Let me pause here for a second. Sorry about that. She was being very noisy with her bone. So our time 1 is 0.2 hours. Oops. Time 2. Time 2 is calculated the same way. T2 is going to be the displacement, 10 miles, divided by 20 hours, 20 miles per hour. And time 2 is going to be 0.5 hours. So we can put those values in for our total displacement. And you know what? I realized I made a mistake here. That should be a T, shouldn't it? Sorry about that. That should be a delta T. So we're going to add our times together. 0.2 hours plus 0.5 hours. So if we add our top together, 20 miles in 0.7 hours. That leaves us with an average velocity of 28.6 miles per hour.